least one critic is already questioning whether this is a form of respect to the leader of the Empire State or shameless self-promotion. Joining us now to talk more about this, our political analyst, New York Post State editor, Fred Dicker. Fred, I actually heard you talking about this on your radio show this morning, and I thought it was an interesting idea that you were propounding, and would be happy if you wanted to share with everybody now.
Shameless self-promotion, Liz. I was noting that this has never been done before in the history of the state, as far as anyone knows. It's not as if anybody needed to be told that the state capital is the state capital, but the idea of putting a sign up saying it's the state capital, certainly nothing wrong with that. But why the governor's name? The Capitol is not the governor's building. We have many elected officials, not just the state capitol. Why doesn't it have Speaker Silver's name, Senator Skelos, Attorney General Schneiderman, our U.S. senators? This is self-promotion for the governor by a bunch of political operatives, and the claim that there's some protocol out there that requires this is absurd. There's no such protocol. In fact, the governor, Governor Cuomo, to his credit, in 2011, put up a bunch of new signs in the Hall of Governors, and nowhere in the Hall of Governors does it say Hall of Governors, Andrew Cuomo, Governor. I mean, there are plenty of other signs that have gone up without his name on it. In addition, there's a history behind that, or behind this, which you and I have talked about over the years. When George Pataki became governor, when he first came in, he conspicuously removed Mario Cuomo's name from the signs that led in and out of New York State on the highways, saying that signs shouldn't be used to promote a governor. Then a few years later, it was found that he had used what the state comptroller back then, Carl McCall, estimated to be $100 million in public monies on TV and other ads that promoted the state and promoted George Pataki by featuring him and his name. There's nothing that requires a protocol to do. There's no protocol that requires this. The protocols from OGS are determined by the governor. Like that, he could reverse the protocol, assuming there even one that exists, and say there is no need to put my name, the governor's name, on a sign identifying the state capital.
I think maybe the protocol here was simply what their spokesperson was referring to was that it's done in cities, it's done in towns, and to indicate who the leader is. It's done in other states. I actually reached out to Massachusetts and New Jersey to find out if they too have the governor's name, but neither one of them got back for me. Once we find out, I will pass that information along.
Look, the Capitol is not the governor's. It's the people's building. And why his name should be there, because of some mysterious protocol, I think raises an absurd issue. The protocol can be changed in a second. The protocol is whatever the state OGS commissioner says it is. That commissioner is appointed by the governor. And if the governor says, I don't want it to be that, it won't be that. It's as simple as that. This is bureaucrats and politicians hiding behind the claim when there's no reason to hide at all. It's the governor's choice. He obviously wants his name emblazoned wherever he can put it now. And this may just be the start of a lot more that we're going to see. All right.
Well, if in fact that's the case, I know you'll be pointing it out to us.
And let me just note again, this has never been done before in the history of New York.
All right. Thank you, Fred. And I'm sure we'll talk about it again. Okay. And you can hear Fred's radio program live from the state capitol weekday mornings from 10 to 11 on Talk 1300 AM.